Oh, oh, what you do to me? Oh, oh, what you do to me, girl? Ooh, have another hit, a sweet air. Have another hit. I got to know where you're going to. I wanna know where you're going. Have another hit, a fresh air. Have another hit.
Well, Steve, welcome to Glendale's Cruise Night.
Thank you.
How are you doing tonight?
Great. Having a lot of fun.
So you've brought a beautiful car with you this evening. What have you brought here tonight?
It's called a 23 T-Bucket.
And why is it called a T-Bucket?
T-Bucket because of the body was in the shape of a bucket. And that's what they called it.
And were these originally from, I know this is fiberglass, originally from a Model T?
From the Model T
era?
Yes, Model T era, yes. 23, 24s, 25s, yeah.
Wow. So now, how long have you had your T-Bucket?
I've had it about 8 years.
When you got it, was it already restored or partially built here?
It was built, and I've taken and rebuilt it to my own liking.
What kind of work have you done on it?
With the blower, changed the engine, the top, cowl lights, radiator change.
How much does this car weigh?
It weighs about 2,100 pounds.
Okay, so that's like half the weight of an average size sedan, so it's very light.
Yes. Oh, yes.
And how much horsepower would you imagine that this blown Chevy has got in it?
You know, I'm going to say give or take 400.
Okay, so about 400 horsepower in a car that weighs
2,000 pounds.
2,000
yes.
pounds. I noticed on the back it's called quick response.
Yes.
So how quick is it?
Well, you step on the gas, it lets you know it's going to go.
Oh, okay, so when you punch it, it punches back.
Oh, yes, it does.
Now, is this your first time at Cruise Night, or have you been here before?
No, I've been here many years.
Many years. You like Cruise Night?
Yes.
Well, Steve, thank you very much. Thanks
Yes.
for coming in tonight, and thank you very much for sharing your T-Bucket with us.
No problem. Thank you.
Take me home. I wanna go home with you. I wanna go home, home with you. Have another hit, a fresh air. Have another hit.
Okay, well, welcome to Glendale Cruise Night. And what's your name?
Thank you. Camille?
And Camille, you must have a story about your car here.
Yeah, this is Daisy. I've had her since 1998. I got her from the recycler. I thought it would be cool to have an old car, and I didn't realize how much work and money it would be. But anyway, I've got her fixed up slowly.
So how much did you pay for Daisy to begin with?
$1,400.
$1,400. And what have you done to Daisy since?
Well, first I had the engine and the transmission rebuilt, in 2006, and then ever since then we've fixed up pretty much everything. All new electrical. The most recent thing is the underside of the hood.
Got a paint job under the hood, did you?
All sanded and painted, yeah.
Now, I see on there it says it's a 215 V8 aluminum block and heads. You know what that means?
Yes, it's a very small aluminum engine, a small V8. It's very light. It's a light car. Tow truck driver told me that. And they used to use the engines for boats and
Oh, this is
not sure what else.
this is great. Now, you told me that in the Buick Club that they said there's only 2 of these.
There are only 2 of this model, of this wagon, registered with the Buick Club of America, this one and one other one. So there are not very many of them around.
Well, thank you, Camille. Thanks for being at Cruise Night tonight. You have a wonderful car.
Thank you very much.
Hips are showing. Ba, 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 ba.
Vernon, what have you brought with you tonight?
My 37 Ford pickup.
Well, it's pretty beautiful. Did it always look this good?
No. It started out as a rusted basket case with no engine in it. Most of the body work was, the body parts were missing. The fenders were torn, the front fenders. So no tailgate, no hood. And it took me like 4 years to identify the parts I needed.
So why did you buy something that was such a derelict?
It was the stupidest thing I did in my life. I mean, I found out later that I could have bought one that was already done. But on the other hand, you know, I'm pleased with the way it's turned out. So, you know, I can say this is my truck. You know, everything on it I bought and either put on or had somebody put on for me.
Well, your toolbox is what attracted us to your truck. Thanks for sharing your truck story with us tonight.
Thank you, Bob.
Yeah, no one else. Because when I'm with you, I can't control myself. Yeah, ba, 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 ba. I can't control myself. I can't control myself. I can't control myself.
Brian, we've just been talking about your car here. I would say this is not exactly your mom's Nash Metropolitan, is it?
Well, no, it isn't, Bob. You know, really what we have here is something that got way out of control when we first started putting it together and decided to make something that was a little bit extreme. So we call this a extreme machine. So
extreme machine. So tell us a little bit about the history. Well, first, what is it exactly?
Well, actually, the car's a 1956 Nash Metropolitan, made, of course, back in the early days. You can remember these kind of cars. And it's kind of funny. We mentioned this really quickly, too. This is what the Glendale Police Department used to use for parking tickets.
That's right.
So it's kind of a funny little thing. But we took a crazy little car like this that came out with about 35 horsepower, changed it around, put a big block Chevrolet in it, complete chassis, complete redesign of the car underneath, basically used the outside body as original, and put about 2,000 horsepower in this, 1,700 pounds, and now we call it the Metronator.
So it has 2 tires in the back that are 19 inches wide and only 12 inches in the middle separating them, and yet they're under the fenders. They're not sticking out the sides.
Yeah, that was a real challenge. You know, everything I did, that's what I had to work the hardest on. I think I redid the rear end about 3 times to get that spacing, between the inside of the body panels and the chassis perfect.
Now, when you start at the beginning of the quarter mile and in, how fast are you going, and how long does it take you to get there?
Basically in a quarter mile, we're doing about 4.43 seconds at 151 miles an hour.
That's pretty quick.
It's very quick.
That's pretty quick.
Most people don't realize how quick that is, but you take that and break it down to something people understand. We'd go 0 to 60 in a second.
Well, it's a beautiful car. Great to have you here. For those, again, who used to think Nash, no horsepower in a Nash, they need to look at your car one more time before they cast that judgment.
Well, that's true. And, we're proud to be here, and you guys put on a great show. So thank you, Bob, for letting us come and be a part of the show.
Well, thanks for being here tonight.
Come on, hold me tight. I love you. Shake it wild thing. Come on, wild thing.
Spectacular cars, I think, that showed up tonight. What have you brought with you this evening?
This is a 1936 Auburn Speedster. It's a second-generation car, meaning that it is not it is a factory-built automobile and dealer sold versus, let's say, a special construction or a kit car or replica. This is a car that was started up, a company restarted again. The Auburn Speedster Company was started up again in 1960, and they began selling cars again in 1968. They became so popular that they started to offer kit cars and things like that. This is not a kit car. This is an actual Auburn Speedster, titled as an Auburn, sold through a Cadillac dealership in Largo, Florida. It was built by Antique Automobiles of America, and which morphed into Speedster Motor Cars of America, and they are still in Largo, Florida.
So tell me, what is special in it? What's under the hood?
A 350 Oldsmobile, because it had more torque, it weighed less, it wasn't a boat anchor, it didn't drive the front end down, and it put out more horsepower. This has got 350-something horsepower, and it drives like a Corvette. And if you can notice these exhaust pipes, back in the day they were only on one side, and they actually worked with the supercharger and the exhaust system. But when they put the Ford Lincoln motors in there, they used to get warm, and they had to do something. So they put 8 exhausts on it, and so from the nose underneath the fender well, you get 3 exhausts in on each side, and on the back, the exhaust out. So that really cooled the car motor down, and by putting the 350 Oldsmobile in there, they reduced. I mean, this car is hard to get over 160 degrees, no matter what you do.
Well, it's an absolutely spectacular car. We're really grateful that you came down to Cruise Night to share it with us tonight.
Dance, dance, dance right there on the spot. Dance, 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 now the beat's really hot. Dance, 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 And a weekend dance, I like to show a blast. I play it cool when it's slow and jump in when it's fast. Dance, 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 now the beat's really hot. Dance, 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 right there on the spot. Dance, 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 now the beat's really hot. Dance, 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 now the beat's really hot. Dance, 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 right there on the spot. Dance, 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 now the beat's really hot.
Good to have you here at Cruise
Oh,
Night.
sure. It's a beautiful city. We got to come, you know.
Well, we're glad you're here. So, what have you brought? What have you brought with you tonight?
Well, I got a 1939 Chevrolet four-door Master Deluxe. You know, sitting down with airbag, 235 engine, all painted, chrome, airbag, whatever accessories we can find for it.
Now, tell me, what you said sitting down with airbags. What does that mean?
It's laying down, just you can see the car's real low and all this, but it comes up and down.
Now, how do you make it do that?
Oh, we run on air compressors and all this, and it comes back and we push a button and shoots right up.
Okay.
Sound system in it, everything.
Now, who did the work on this car?
A lot of work, just a lot of friends that we know to our club. We belong to Old Memories, San Gabriel Valley, and we put them together. We help each other do a lot of things, with the cars, and we do a lot of stuff our own selves.
Okay, now tell me about the paint. You were talking a little bit about the time it took you to pick this paint out.
Oh, well, I took 6 months to find this color. This is a rare color, and we made a backyard paint job, but we took a while because we didn't want to be like everybody else. And I have a painter, and we just mixed a little this and a little that, and that's what we ended up with. We just got lucky.
So this is Joe's special color.
Oh, yes, this is Joe's color. Everybody asks me about it. Who picked this color? What color is it? No, this is Joe's color. I don't tell nobody,
Well, Joe, now something happened to you on the way up here to the car?
Oh, yeah, I blew a reverse.
So you're only going forward right now.
Yeah, we're only going forward, but I got the kids to help me out.
And when will that reverse be fixed?
Tomorrow. No, Monday, excuse me. Monday or Tuesday, it'll be fixed right away.
Okay, that's good. Well, Joe, thank you so much for being here and helping make Cruise Night even more special.
No, I come every year for the last 3 years and really enjoy ourselves here. Beautiful people and a beautiful city. And I look forward to coming next year.
Surfing USA. Surfing USA. Yeah, surfing USA.
His name's Santiago.
Santiago.
Yeah,
And,
this is a step 2, as you can see, step 2 thing. And
okay,
little
step
buggy.
2. It's got, looks like some pretty special headlights on the front.
And, all your goodies in there.
A trunk, yeah. Now,
little horn. Yeah, look at that. Look at that.
Now, tell me, how many horsepower are you for pushing this?
I don't know. We're looking maybe 1 or 2.
Yeah, I don't know. You probably look about 300 horsepower to me. I think you're probably moving along pretty good.
Yeah, once I get a good little pace going.
Well, thank you for coming to Cruise Night. Thanks for bringing Santiago and getting him ready. We'll expect to see Santiago in his 48 Chevy pickup sometime here in the future when he gets his license.
Exactly.
Okay, thanks. Have a good time this evening.
You do the same.
I knew that she was mine, so I gave her all the love that I had. That one day she'll take me home to meet her mom and her dad. Then I'd ask her to be my bride and always be right by my side. I felt so happy that I almost cried, and then I kissed her. 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 Well, since she put me down, I've been out to it in my head. I come in late at night, and in the morning I just lay in bed. But Ronnie, you caught my eye, and I could give you lots of reasons.
Okay, here we are tonight now with George Chapchin, our Director of Parks and Recreation. George, you've been working on a project for a number of years. You care to share with us what you brought tonight, what you've been working on?
14 years. I've been working on this thing for 14 years. It's a 1949 Ford Woody wagon.
Tell us a little bit about what it's taken to get this car to car show, Cruise Night tonight.
Bob knows that I have a very understanding wife. When I first brought it home, she saw it in the garage and cried because it was a rust bucket, right? It was nothing but rust all over, no wood on it. And then had the wood done while the body was being done. And
no, wait a minute. Let's stop at the wood, because there's a story about the wood after wood was refinished. You need to share with us. What's the story about the wood?
The wood was refinished before the body was done, and I was afraid that I couldn't put it in my garage because I didn't want it to get moist from rain or anything like that. So I put it in my living room for a while.
Living room. Now,
that didn't go over so well. So it was there just for a couple of weeks, and then I moved it up to the bedroom, and even then that didn't go over so well.
The bedroom was somehow a better place?
I would have thought so, but she didn't think so. But
okay, well,
eventually went in the garage.
Well, the good word now is the wood's on the car, right?
The wood's on the car.
Okay, and how long have you actually been working on restoring it to this current? It's been the whole 14 years?
On and off 14 years, yeah.
Now, this is a 49 Ford Woody.
Yeah.
What's under the hood?
It's a Chevy motor. I knew you were going to ask me about that. It's a Chevy motor. It's Frankenstein. You're right.
It's not a brand conflict or something? Now, why the Chevy? Is that a Corvette engine in
It's a Corvette engine. It's an 84 Corvette engine. It's cheaper to build a Chevy engine than it is Ford. So it was just financing.
Corvette's not an uncommon engine to use in a modified like this.
You're right, yeah. I think you'll find a lot of the street rods here run that kind of engine.
Now, what else have you done? Seems like it's lowered a little bit.
It has all the modern stuff. It looks like an old Woody, but it has power windows, air conditioning, power door locks.
Speaking of that, I noticed there's no door handles on it.
There's no door handles.
So how do you open the doors?
You just pop it open with one of these and it opens up.
So that opens the door.
That
pushing
opens
that
it
button.
up, yeah.
I see. That's pretty nice.
Yeah, pretty slick.
George, this is a tremendous car, a
Thanks,
great project car, and also thanks to you and your staff for putting on Cruise Night, doing such a good job. George, thanks very much. Good to have you here.
Good to be here. Thank you, Bob.
Help me, Rhonda. 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 Yeah, get her out of my heart. Awesome.
special participant in this year's cruise night.
Yes,
As I
yes,
recall,
thank
you used to be a council member of the city of Glendale.
Yes, that was a while ago, yes.
So actually, before we start the interview, why don't we turn around 1994. 1990, that's the first year of Glendale's cruise night. And I think you've probably been here a number of times.
Yes, I have, yeah.
So what have you brought this evening, Dick?
This is a 2007 Mustang made to look like the 1970 Trans Am race car that Parnelli Jones won the Trans Am Series with.
So who is making this now?
Nobody's making it now. This is a limited production.
So how did you happen to get this? I think, as we noticed, this is number 301 on this particular production. How did you get this one?
Well, I learned about the car through belonging to the Peterson Museum, and liked what they had, and drove one, and it's a terrific car to drive, and a whole lot of fun. The police notice you too much, but
Will that have anything to do with the color?
it certainly does. It's called Grabber Orange.
Grabber Orange.
Right.
So tell us what's under the hood on this.
This is actually a 4.6 made into a 5-liter, which is 302 cubic inches. That's where the 302 on the side comes from.
This is a great car to have. It's a little bit of an illegal car here tonight because it's a new car made to look like an
old
classic.
car. Old car, right.
And that's how you're in here tonight.
That's how I'm here.
Well, we're glad to have you here.
Okay.
This is a great car.
Thanks,
Dick.
All right.
I love the colorful clothes she wears and the way the sunlight plays upon her hair. On the wave that lifts her perfume through the air.
I'm picking up good vibrations. She's giving me the air.
Okay. Well, thank you for being at
It's a
cruise
pleasure,
night with
Bob.
us.
This is my first cruise night. It's great.
So tell us, what is this?
It's a 74 MG Midget. It's got an A-series engine. Same basic body style from 61 to 78. In 74, they changed. They put rubber bumpers on it and a different engine with a lot of smog pumps, very inefficient. This is the last of the chrome bumper MGs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, if it was in a wrecking yard in Pacoima,
Yes.
that must not have looked like this when you got it.
It
So
was
what
a little scuffed up.
what have you done to it since you got
Everything.
it?
I took it down to shell, took every nut and bolt off of it, rebuilt everything. Took the engine up to a 1380.
Okay. Now,
It's-
for those who don't know, what
Yes.
is a 1380?
Well, the stock engine size is a 1275cc.
Okay.
So this is about as big as you can get without putting sleeves in it.
So 1380 is the displacement on the
It's
engine.
1380 cc's, cubic centimeters, right. Horsepower is probably around 100, 110,
Okay.
up from about 58 stock.
Oh, so you've done quite a power improvement on this.
It handles really well. It gets up and goes on the freeway, and it's wonderful on mountain roads.
How long did it take you from the time that you bought it to get it to cruise night tonight?
About 3.5 years.
About 3.5 years.
Yeah.
Well, actually, you're ahead of schedule. We interviewed somebody else that's 14 years to get here
Whoa.
tonight from buying theirs. Well, thank you.
Evening. We've got some great cars here, great people, great food, and we're going to set a record tonight. That's most twisters at one time. But the only way it'll work is if we start to, they're serious about this. They've got a turnstile, and a representative from the Guinness Book of World Records is here making sure that we don't fudge on the count. But we're going to break that sucker, and we'll go down in history as the most number of twisters. I'm glad everyone's out here having a good time. Have a great evening. There's plenty of music to come. We just finished with Surf and Safari. We're going to have the man, Chubby Checker, coming on in just a moment. Here's my buddy on the City Council, Frank Quintero.
Thank you, Mayor. The City Council ordered a cool evening, so you have to thank us for the weather. But no, I want to thank the committee and everyone that worked so hard for this, the entertainers. It's a great event, and let's make sure we set the record tonight. I'm going to stick around and twist myself.
Okay, I will too, Frank, if you don't tell anyone. But count me as twice, maybe. So everyone, you need to file in. We're going to break the record, and you can go down in history. July 17th, 2010 is the most number of twisters. All right, party on.
Now, we officially mark the 50th anniversary of the twist tonight. You are part of history. Ladies and gentlemen, he gave you the Hucklebuck, the Limbo, the Pony, the Fly, and the most important rock and roll record of all time, the only song that's been number one twice, 2 different years. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome, as we do the twist tonight, here's Chubby Checker! Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? It is twisting time. This is for the Guinness World Record. All of you twisters over here. All of you twisters over here. And I have to see all of you right out here on Brand Boulevard twisting, okay? This is our Guinness World Record adjudicator. She's going to watch you. You got to keep going for 5 minutes with Chubby. You ready? Here we go!
Come on, baby, let's do the twist. Come on. Come on, baby, let's do the twist. Let me buy my little hand and go like this. Come on and twist. Yeah, baby, twist. Ooh, yeah. Just like this. Come on, little bit and do the twist. My daddy is sleeping, and I'm gonna get around. Yeah, daddy just sleeping, and I'm gonna get around. Gonna twist and twist and twist till we tear the house down. Come on and twist, yeah, baby, twist. Ooh, yeah, just like this. Come on, little twist, and do the twist.
You folks got to keep twisting. Keep twisting.
out there, I want everybody out there to put your right foot forward a little bit. Right foot forward. Bend your knees just a little bit. Are you listening to me? Now, I want you to get on your toes a little bit. And I want everybody to do this. Work it. Work it for me. Work it for me. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. Work it for me. Come on. Work it for me, kids. All you kids out there, work it for me. It should look like this from the back. Work it, kids. Work it, baby. Work it. Work it. Work it for me. Baby, 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 take it easy. Let's do it right. Baby, take it easy. Don't you know we got all night? No, 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 twist it up and slow, slow, twist it with you. A little crazy motion is all you need. Twist it slow and motion. You know you don't need speed. Woo! No, no, twist it like a slow, slow, twist it with you. You're gonna last longer, longer, just take your time. Yeah, gonna feel stronger, longer, and inside. No, no, twist it like a slow, slow, twist it with you. Yeah, come on, come on, come on and squeeze, baby. Come on and please, baby. Come on and drive me crazy. Shake it, take it easy, baby. No, no, twist it like a slow, slow, twist it with you. Everybody, 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 everybody needs somebody. Woo! Give them love and make them feel. Everybody needs somebody. All right now. Everybody needs somebody. Give them love and make them feel all right. Woo! Everybody say yeah! 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 Oh, baby, 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 I feel your love tonight. All I wanna do, my honey, squeeze and hold you tight. I just wanna put my fingers through your lovely hair. Won't you take my hand, my honey? We can kind of stay. Love, give me all you got. Some love, love. Woo, woo. Just all I need, I got. No, I got to have a love. No, no, twist it like a slow, slow, twist it with you. No, twist it like a, twist it with you. a peppermint twist. Hey, hey, hey. 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 Well, come on. Come on, come on. Baby, come on. Come on. Woo! Come on, come on. Baby, it's all right. Come on, come on. You like to do this. The peppermint twist. Oh, come on. Come on, come on. Baby, come on. Come on, come on. Woo! Come on, come on. That it's all right. Come on, come on. You like to do this. The peppermint twist. You like to do this. The peppermint twist. Hey! Everybody feel all right out there? Feel all right out there? It's pony time. Get up! Hey now, everybody. In the Union Hall. Pony time. When you hear this song. So get with it. Don't quit. Get up! I do the pony with your partner. I've been a big boss now. And anyway you do it, you're gonna look real fine. So get with it. Don't quit it. I get up. I did the pony with your partner. In a big boss now. Anyway you do it, you're gonna look real fine. So get with it, don't quit it, get up. This next door, I do it the pony. She's taking my phone. And now you better get with it, don't quit it. Hey! That's it, that's it, that's all. Yeah! Here's a dance you should know. Oh, baby, when the lights are down, no, grab your baby then go. Yeah, do the huckleberry. If you don't know how to do it, man, you gotta push your partner, then you hush her back. Got a little movement in your sack, I really am. A wiggle like a snake and wobble like a duck. That's what you do when you do the huckleberry. Oh, work it now. Work it. Work it. Work it now. Work it. Woo. Now here's a dance you should know. Baby, when come on, the lights are down. No, grab your baby then go. A little bit of this, a little bit of twist. If you don't know how to do that, smile, baby, shiz. Push your partner up, then you hush her back. Got a little movement in your sack, I really am. A wiggle like a snake and wobble like a duck. That's what you do it just one more time. Work it, girl, work it. Woo. 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 Yeah, do the huckleberry. Do the huckleberry. If you don't know how to do it, then you ought to push your partner up, then you hush her back. All the little bit in your sack, I really got a wiggle like a snake. one more time. That's what you do when you do the hucklebuck. Woo! Whoa. Come on, baby, let's do the twist. Come on, baby, let's do the twist. Take me by my little hand and go like this. Come on and twist. Yeah, baby, twist. Yeah, just like that. Come on, little miss. Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, we should. Yes, I think we've got it now. Thank you, Glendale. Thank you. Thank you so much. God loves the people. He does. Why don't you give me that?
Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Chubby Checker!
Ladies and gentlemen, Chubby Checker. Glendale, Southern California, we did it tonight. This is the Guinness World Record for the largest twist dance. You did it. You're a part of history. We thank you. Chubby Checker, the 50th anniversary of the twist. Right here, only in Glendale. Did you have a good time tonight? This is the man, Chubby Checker. Thank you so much for coming. Till we meet again, I want to see you here next year. Take care. And as I always said, close of my radio show, thanks for being on the show. Rock on, Glendale.